Shifting focus now, the Supreme Court is pronouncing judgment on the bail pleas of 7 accused including Umar Khalid and Sharjeel Imam. The top court has announced that Umar Khalid and Sharjeel Imam will continue to stay in jail in connection with the UAPA case. The pre-trial incarceration of Umar Khalid, Sharjeel Imam and others cannot be assumed to have the character of punishment, further highlighting that Article 21 occupies a central space in the constitutional scheme. The deprivation of liberty will not be arbitrary. The UAPA as a special statute represents a legislative judgment as to the conditions on which bail may be granted in pre-trial stage. While delivering the judgment, the court stated that bail is not a forum for evaluating defences. The SC has reserved its judgment on December 10 last year after Delhi police had opposed the bail application of the accused. Earlier, the Delhi High Court had also rejected the bail applications of the accused. Advocate Ashwini Dubey, who is an advocate on record of the Supreme Court, joins me for more on this. Welcome, sir. We're obviously learning that now the Supreme Court has announced that Sharjeel Imam and Umar Khalid are going to stay in jail in light of the 2020 Delhi riots that had taken place. It has rejected the bail plea of both of these. What are your first reactions to this, sir?
The Supreme Court has very rightly dismissed the bail application of Umar Khalid, Sharjeel Imam in this matter, because they had been saying that they are in the long incarceration for more than 5 years, one. And number two, as per the Indian criminal jurisprudence, no one can be put behind the bar for an indefinite period without trial. And number three, that the statement witnesses trial is still taking place and therefore they should be released on bail. So the court says that since their case is under the special law, which is UAPA, UAPA refers to the Terrorist Act. Number two, section 43D, subsection 5 of the UAPA Act says that the UAPA cases tried under the UAPA has a different footing than the normal criminal cases falling under the normal criminal jurisprudence. Number three, bail is a rule and jail is an exception, is not applying in this case. And number four, that they had a larger created a larger conspiracy which has created unrest. Many people have died in 2020 in Delhi riots. They had made the inflammatory speeches, and their speeches are not protected under Section 19 of the Constitution of India, and therefore the Section 20, Article 21, which they have been arguing that it's a right to violation of their fundamental rights, is not applicable in this case because their role is against the country, and they had made inflammatory speeches which has led to the riots in killing of people, and also many were injured in Northeast Delhi during the Trump's visit. So this case has two footing. One, that the normal criminal jurisprudence, as per which a person cannot be kept inside the jail during the trial for an indefinite period, is not applying. Number two, they had a role. Number three, their absence, that they were not present at the site where the offence took place, also does not negate role, and they have made inflammatory speeches at various forums, various places, and therefore they are not subjected to the bail. So the court has rejected their bail. Let's see what happens tomorrow, but the trial will take place. Now all the evidences will be evaluated, and the Supreme Court says that we don't have to evaluate the evidence. Evaluating the evidence is the duty and role of the trial court at the time when the trial is taking place. At the bail stage, we will not evaluate this. We will see the reasonable prima facie evidences against the accused person, and therefore parity cannot be cited, number one. Number two, their argument that they have been put inside the bar for an indefinite period, more than 5 years, is not applying. And number three, they cannot even direct the trial court to complete the trial in time-bound manner. Over to you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing all those details with us. I'm also being joined by Sambhav Sharma, our reporter, who's going to share more with us on this. Sambhav, we're learning that the Supreme Court, the top court, has rejected the bail of Umar Khalid as well as Sharjeel Imam in the 2020 Delhi riots case. What more can you tell us?
Judgment today, and the top court has denied the bail to two big accused in this particular case, Umar Khalid and Sharjeel Imam, and also made certain comments on the delay in the trial, alleged delay in the trial, because when the matter was before the Supreme Court for hearing. It was a major argument by both these accused, Sharjeel Imam and Umar Khalid, that there is a delay in the trial. Why prosecution is not able to conduct or complete the trial, complete the investigation on time, why the trial is taking so much of delay. Here the Supreme Court has said that these two accused cannot be put on equal footing with other accused, and has denied bail to these two accused. Now the top court of the country has denied bail to these two accused, Sharjeel Imam and Umar Khalid. Earlier, Delhi High Court denied the bail to these accused. Later on, these accused challenged Delhi High Court's on denial of the bail in the Supreme Court, and now the top court of the country has denied bail to Umar Khalid and Sharjeel Imam in 2020 Delhi riots case. And if we talk about what arguments made in the Supreme Court, Solicitor General Tushar Mehta for Delhi Police has vociferously asked the court, made submission that bail must not be granted to these accused. And also earlier, Additional Solicitor General S.V. Raju, who was present in different courts for Delhi Police, also vociferously said that bail must not be granted, and it's not just the Delhi riots 2020, but it was a part of larger conspiracy. And also the timings of this the Delhi riots was questioned by many advocates, many senior advocates who appeared for the Delhi police in different courts and also in the Supreme Court, that the timing in itself poses a big question on the intent of these accused. And it was also said, detailed arguments were made in the Supreme Court, asking the Supreme Court, requesting the Supreme Court for not granting these bail to these accused. And now the top court has rejected the bail petition of Sharjeel Imam and Umar Khalid in the Delhi riots case. And also, if we talk about, let's understand the timeline of this particular case. Now that the Supreme Court has also rejected bail of these accused, the matter was going on in the Karkatuma court, the lower court, the trial court. Earlier, it reached the Delhi High Court, requesting both accused requested bail from the Delhi High Court. Delhi High Court rejected the bail petition. Later on, the matter reached the Supreme Court. Detailed arguments were made before the two-judge bench of the Supreme Court. And if we talk about the detailed argument, I already discussed what the prosecution is said in the Supreme Court, and on the other hand, the arguments made by the accused. The major argument was that why the trial is taking so much of time. Senior advocate Kapil Sibal, who appeared for the few of the accused in this particular case, has made detailed arguments in the Supreme Court, seeking bail for these accused. And after hearing the detailed argument from both the sides, where prosecution was saying that bail must not be granted to these accused, it was a part of larger conspiracy. It was these riots were orchestrated, planned in a way when President of United States was there in Delhi, and that's why they were planned together to cater international media's attention to the certain causes, and many other arguments were made by many top lawyers in the Supreme Court, requesting the Supreme Court, asking the Supreme Court to grant bail. But on the other hand, prosecution was very, very adamant in this particular case, where prosecution is said, the Delhi police has said the bail must not be granted. It will set a wrong precedent, and it's a UAPA case, and the bail must not be granted. So these were the arguments made by prosecution, the Delhi police, in the Supreme Court through various advocates, senior advocates, including Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, who was present in the court and made certain arguments the bail must not be granted. After hearing the arguments from both the sides, the Supreme Court has reserved the judgment, and now Supreme Court today has delivered the judgment rejecting bail petition of Sharjeel Imam and Umar Khalid in 2020 Delhi riots case.
Additionally, Sambhav, could you give us some sort of an overview of this case, as well as what exactly is this larger conspiracy case that is being talked about?
See, Solicitor General Tushar Mehta has also pointed out before the Supreme Court that there was not just the Delhi riots, but the larger conspiracy I mean, in a way, tarnish the image of the country and the national capital internationally. So, and through these riots, through I mean unrest in the national capital, especially the time chosen to for these riots in Delhi on I mean in 2020 during United States President's presence in the national capital. So these were the arguments made by prosecution requesting the Supreme Court, asking the Supreme Court not to grant bail, and also serious stringent UAPA charges have been leveled in this particular case. And also there are three courts involved: the trial court, the Kalka court, where the matter is going on, the Delhi High Court, which earlier rejected the bail petition of these accused, and now the top court of the country rejecting the bail petition after detailed arguments. And everywhere the Delhi police and the special public prosecutor in the lower court, in the Delhi High Court, Solicitor General, additional Solicitor General, everybody has said that bail must not be granted to these accused, and if the bail is granted, then it will set a wrong precedent. And said that there was a larger conspiracy to malign the image of the country, and probably to an extent in a detailed order. Now we are waiting for the detailed written order of the Supreme Court, where the two-judge bench of the Supreme Court will obviously the order will come in public domain. Then we would be in a better position to understand and analyze as to what went through the court's mind while rejecting the bail hearing in the Supreme Court. Now these two accused in that 2020 Delhi riot case, and now the bail has been rejected. However, bail has been granted to few accused in this particular case.
All right, Sambhav, thank you so much for sharing all those details with us. I'm also being joined by Advocate Vineet Jindal, who is a Supreme Court advocate. Sir, the Supreme Court has denied bail to Umar Khalid as well as Sharjeel Imam, while 5 others have been granted bail in this very same case. Your first reaction to this, sir? Alright, it seems like I'm facing some sort of connectivity issues. Now the Supreme Court has rejected the bail of Umar Khalid as well as Sharjeel Imam in the 2020 Delhi riots case. This stems from the fact that in the year 2020, riots had taken place amid protests over the Citizenship Amendment Act and the National Register of Citizens, which is the NRC. Deaths were also reported in these riots that took place, and student activists Sharjeel Imam as well as Umar Khalid. Now the Supreme Court has said that prima facie their roles in the riots have been disclosed. Now it's important to note also that 5 other co-accused in this case have been granted bail, which includes Gulfisha Fatima, Miran Haider, Shifa Rahman, Mohammad Salim Khan as well as Shadab Ahmed. Now Advocate Vineet Jindal, who is a Supreme Court advocate. Alright, joining me on the broadcast is Mr. Pradeep Bhandari, who is a BJP spokesperson. Sir, the Supreme Court has denied bail to Sharjeel Imam as well as Umar Khalid in the Delhi 2020 riots case. Your first reaction to this, sir?
This is a big slap in the face of Rahul Gandhi and the entire urban Naxal lobby, because it was Rahul Gandhi's Congress ecosystem which tried to project the poster boys of Tukde Tukde gang as victims. Both in the court of public opinion and in the court of law, it stands vindicated that Sharjeel Imam is a prima facie anti-national who tried to incite individuals in this country to remove chicken neck from Indian state, and Umar Khalid prima facie was responsible for anti-Hindu Delhi riots. The Congress party today should owe an apology to the people of the country for backing the fringe Tukde Tukde gang as the mainstream and victim.
Additionally, sir, going forward, how do you think this case is likely to pan out?
Well, that is right. However, repeated rejections of the bail of the 2 prime accused involved in prima facie UAPA Act and Anti-National Act proves the point that the case is very strong, and both Umar Khalid and Sharjeel Imam, both in the court of public opinion and the court of law, stand as not as victims but prima facie accused who are responsible for seditious UAPA charges. One, responsible for planning and plotting and conspiring for anti-Hindu Delhi riots, and the second, trying to incite people to remove chicken neck from the Indian state.
All right, Mr. Pradeep Bhandari, thank you so much for speaking with us here at NewsX. With that, I sip into a short break. Thank you for watching.